now is precisely 9 o'clock, and it is now time for the Chatson Show.
Welcome this week to the Chatson Show. And our star guest tonight will be Maggie Thatcher, the head of the Conservative Party, and the owner of the most Rolls Royces in the land. But now, be quiet, audience, please. But now, our first guest is Maggie Thatcher. Oh dear, what's happening? Oh dear! It seems to be happened while Maggie Thatcher is entering the doorway.
On behalf of us all here, I heard that, young man. Keep your neighbour hole shut.
Beg your pardon. Would you care to take a seat? This one just here.
Oh, but I, Margaret Thatcher, being Margaret Thatcher, want to sit in your best seat.
Well, I'm sitting in that.
Yes, well, as I am Margaret Thatcher...
Yes, we know.
I would like to sit in that chair.
Please yourself. Can we start out, Margaret, about your younger ages, your teens and so on. Well, when you were young, did you have dreams about being the Prime Minister?
No, not really. I did not have dreams about being the Prime Minister. I mostly had dreams about being the world's spaghetti eater.
Well, if you know for sure what your mum and dad voted for in the election, was it Conservative, was it Labour, or was it Liberal?
Well, my dear mother and father, I should say they voted Conservative. They better have anyway.
I understand here, next on the list, it says that when you were 12 years old, you took up judo, a bit of judo lessons.
Oh, on behalf of us all here.
Not again.
I did actually, yes. And who do you think came to judo lessons?
Was it James Callahan?
How could you be so brainy? You are taking after me. Yes, indeed it was James Callahan. Got a James Callahan in my throat.
So you used James Callahan instead of a frog?
Yes, he looks awfully like a frog. Quiet. Yes, and he came to judo once, and I got him by the arm, and I got him down on the floor, and on behalf of us all here, I thumped him, and I thumped him, and I thumped him, and then he gave me a black eye, and that is why we have never been so friendly.
Do you think you will win the election in 3 years' time if you don't get kicked out by people before that?
Well, I think, on behalf of us all here, as I am good, that God will make a good person like me stay on for hundreds of years. Are we all in favour of that? I should stay on for 100 of years? Yes, we are.
Here.
Here.
Well, it is true that in the paper and on the news, people have been saying that the world is in a mess since Conservative were elected.
Well, you have got it all wrong, young man, because I, Margaret Thatcher, when I come in for Conservative, the world was indeed in a mess, but I, Margaret Thatcher, The Prime Minister untangled those knots that James Callaghan had made, and I'm making the world better. Don't everybody say
Before you come in at Conservative, the price of petrol was, 75p? But in a matter of 6-7 months, I don't know, the price of petrol has gone up at least 50p. Do you think it will go up?
Young man, in 6 and 7 months I've only been here for 8. So that makes it sound as if you are saying that I am putting the prices up of petrol. And that is not true, is it?
Yes, quite so. Could you name a few of the items that will be put up quite a considerable amount?
All I do is James Callaghan would stop playing with my tonsils.
Go back to the question. Could you name a few items that will be going up a lot of money in the next budget?
Well, definitely, on behalf of all here, definitely tomatoes and eggs, because everybody loves me, but they just go crackers when they see me and throw eggs and tomatoes at me. And that's because they love me, of course. But I'm putting them up so people will not be able to buy them because of the price and throw them at me.
Yes, good idea. Now, moving on to a different subject, I understand you've got a car. Now, people in the public seem to give your car an unusual name.
Yes, well, my butler and my maid, and especially James Callaghan, call it the Maggie Crank Mobile. Other people I know call it Ye Old Bag Mobile or Machine. But personally, I, myself, call it the Clever Conservative Mobile. Don't we all agree on that? And about people calling me a Ye Old Bag. Well, people put corn into the bags. Farmers use corn. Farmers are very clever and helpful. And thank you very much for the compliment.
Moving on to the last subject, it will be, what type of music do you like?
We're going down the pub, Harry Perry, come along. And also, much too young, gonna be much too young, married to the kids when you could be having fun. Of course, they're referring to me being much too young.
Well, it's nice having you on the show.
On behalf of all here, I, Margaret Thatcher, should say it's a pleasure being here.
All that for that. Well, so we move on to our next contestant. And for that, Chatson Show will take over the microphone.
God, she's a bore, isn't she? On behalf of all here, I heard that, young lady. Anyway, moving on for our next guest, he's called Charles Toffeenose. Hello, Charles Toffeenose.
Hello, chaps. Spiffing old show, isn't it, what?
Yes, what? Some people say you own 100 Rolls Royce. As the people say, loads of rubbish. You only own 30. How many do you actually own?
Oh, yes, well, bringing it to the round figure, about, let me see, 63. What? Why? How many do you have?
Well, actually, none at the moment. I'm expected to have a great, big, lovely Mini. By the way, how many different cars have you got? I mean, like Jaguars,
Only the Rolls Royces, old chap. Only the Rolls Royces, yes. Can't afford any more.
What is your house like?
I would say on the large size, yeah. About like the Queen's.
Yes, quite. Yes. Who would you vote for? Labour, Liberal or Conservative? I've been meaning to ask you this.
Well, I have a bar chance Conservative.
Here. On behalf of us all here, I am Margaret Thatcher. And I, Margaret Thatcher, think the prices should go up.
Oh, jolly good.
Yes,
Jolly good show, old chap.
Oh, yes, Watty. Fell on his body.
Oh, I think you are rich. How many
Well, I think we'd best leave her there, don't you? They're having a good old conversation.
Yes,
So it's bye-bye from me and see you next week on the Chatson Show.
yes, well, how many Rolls Royces do you have?
Well, on behalf of us all here, I have one.
Yes, I think we better leave them.
And I have
So I think it'll be bye-bye from me and Annie Chater until next week. Bye-bye.
That is all very economical. Oh dear, there go. Goodbye, dear. Look at this.
Bye.
Yes, as we're talking about clothes, what a lovely one the Queen has got.
Yes, I've got one stuck away in the back, what?